Early evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of NPU Weekly, the weekly webcast show that brings you up to date with all the latest news in the world of North Park University athletics. I am your host, Kevin Shepke, and for this next 25 to 30 minutes, we'll be bringing you up to date on all the latest news, including an unfortunate 26-20 loss that the North Park football team suffered this past Saturday out at Augustana College. We'll be talking briefly with head coach Mike Conway later on in the show, a little bit about the Vikings game and that they have Carthage coming up this weekend at home, their final home game of the season, senior night for that game. But before we go into tonight's or the interview that Coach Conway and I had earlier today, let's talk a bit about some of the other teams on campus. First of all, starting with the men's soccer team. Head coach John Bourne and the North Park Vikings were going for their first regular season conference championship since the 2006 season when they hosted Wheaton College on Saturday night out here at the Home Grad Athletic Complex. But the Vikings unfortunately lost the matchup by a 1-0 score as Stephen Goals for Wheaton ended up scoring the game winner for Wheaton in the 77th minute. And we do have a highlight from that game as the seniors were honored from that evening as that was their last regular season home game. So let's go ahead and show you that clip that we have from that game on Saturday evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to midfield, as tonight we would like to take a moment to honor the seniors on the North Park men's soccer team. Over the past 3+ seasons, the North Park men's soccer team has consistently been ranked among the top 25 in the nation. They have advanced to the NCAA tournament twice and have an overall record of 48, 16, and 11. Additionally, these 12 seniors have a collective grade point average of 3.4. Says Coach Bourne, all of these individuals have been instrumental in the success of the North Park soccer team on and off the field. I could talk for hours on the superlatives of each and every one of these young men. However, time will only permit to say we will dearly miss them. I want to thank them as well as their family and friends for all their hard work, support, and determination. Our first senior resides in Monroe, Washington, number 2, Edmund Fisher. Edmund is a finance major and a 4-year letter winner. His parents are Henry and Lisa. Number 2, Edmund Fisher. Our next senior resides in Lincolnwood, Illinois, number 3, Brian Tamuda. Brian is an accounting major and a 2-year letter winner. His parents are Eugene and Mahela. Number 3, Brian Tamuda. Our next senior resides in Chicago, Illinois. Number 4, Ian Chester. Ian is a history major and a 4-year letter winner. His parents are Stephen and Betsy. Number 4, Ian Chester. Our next senior resides in Västerås, Sweden. Number 7, Carl Demberg. Carl is a business major and a 4-year letter winner. His parents are Anders and Elisabeth. Number 7, Carl Demberg. Our 5th senior tonight resides in Örebro, Sweden. Number 11, Christopher Osberg. Christopher is majoring in business and is a 3-year letter winner. His parents are Martin and Britt Marie. Number 11, Christopher Osberg. Our next senior resides in Nacka, Sweden. Number 12, Johan Gustafsson. Johan is a sports management major and a 3-year letter winner. His parents are Lars Gunnar and Os. Number 12, Johan Gustafsson. Our next senior is from Manizales, Colombia. Number 13, Juan Gonzalez Incapi. Juan is an international business major and a 2-year letter winner. His parents are Manuel and Marlene. Number 13, Juan Gonzalez Incapi. Our next senior resides in Franklin Park, Illinois. Number 16, Dominic Wardzala. Dominic is an exercise science major and a 3-year letter winner. His parents are Jonuts and Renata. Number 16, Dominic Wardzala. Our next senior resides in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Number 18, Felipe Matar. Felipe is a business major and letter winner. His parents are Felipe and Giselle. Number 18, Felipe Matar. Our next senior tonight resides in Quito, Ecuador. Number 30, Yoshu Villasis. Yoshu is majoring in athletic training and a 4-year letter winner. His parents are Darwin and Miriam. Number 30, Yoshu Villasis. Our next senior resides in Halmstad, Sweden. Number 32, Frederick Greif. Frederick is a graduate student pursuing an MBA and a 4-year letter winner. His parents are Per and Nina. Number 32, Frederick Greif. Our 12th and final senior of the evening is from Hovik, Norway. Number 37, Marcus Fodstad. Marcus is also a graduate student pursuing an MBA and a 4-year letter winner. His parents are Tom and Beata. Number 37, Marcus Fodstad. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, the North Park soccer team and the coaching staff would like to publicly thank the parents, family members, and supportive friends of our seniors, as they have been an incredible blessing to these players as well as to the entire team. We could not have done all this without you. Thank you all, and thank you, seniors.
As we said, yeah, just an unfortunate loss there for the Vikings in that matchup. But North Park was able to get in position for the championship by defeating Elmhurst College by a 1-0 score on Wednesday, which was October 29th. And Carlos Rodriguez was the lone goal scorer for the Vikings in that matchup. He ended up scoring it in the 32nd minute for the Vikings. And we also have a clip from that game as well. So let's go ahead and show you that clip from the game against Elmhurst.
And now the starting lineup for your North Park University Vikings. Minding the nets, number 1, Wesley Woodley. Number 5, Pshemek Zapilski. Number 10, Diego Lashley. Number 11, Christopher Ostberry. Number 12, Johan Gustafsson. Number 32, Frederick Greif. Number 35, Stani Lokamba. Number 37, Marcus Fodstad. Number 40, Keba Sanyang. Number 43, Carlos Rodriguez. And number 44, Nathaniel Paisley. The Vikings are coached by John Bourne.
Shot taken by Carlos Rodriguez, and he puts it in. Goal for North Park. So he puts it in with 12:02 remaining here in the first half. And the Vikings have taken a 1-0 lead on a goal by Carlos Rodriguez. Goal. Frederick Greif with the assist. Goal for North Park. This is Elmhurst now pushing up the far side, near side. Shot could be taken now. Shot saved by number 18, taking Fletcher. Nice save. Huge save there by Wesley Woodley. Back in possession now. Elmhurst has a little bit of daylight here on the outside. Shot taken. Header taken. Hits the crossbar. Number 30 took the first shot. On the rebound was number 36.
And yet, like I said, that was just an unbelievably exciting game for the Vikings now that their record stands at 13-5 overall, as well as 5-2 mark in the conference, and they earned the number 2 seed in the CCIW postseason tournament. So they will now be hosting Elmhurst College once again this Wednesday. Coming up, they will be in the first round of the playoffs at 7 p.m., and the winner of that game will go on to the conference championship game and will either play Wheaton or Milliken. That will be the other semifinal going on that evening, Wednesday night, for the right to earn the NCAA's automatic bid to, or the conference's automatic bid to the NCAA Division III National Tournament. And that game will be played on Saturday evening at 7 p.m. either at Wheaton or would be here, depending on if Milliken were to defeat Milliken. So, yeah, moving on to some other sports on campus. The women's soccer team, they finished up their season as well with a 6-11 overall mark and a 1-5 mark in the conference. After a 6-2 unfortunate loss by the Vikings on Wednesday, October 29th to Elmhurst, they ended up losing another matchup 6-1 to Wheaton College on Saturday evening. Going back to the Elmhurst game, though, however, we do have a clip from that game as senior Emma Lundeen was able to score her 15th and 16th goals of the season in that matchup. So let's go ahead and show you that clip from earlier last week.
And now here's the starting lineup for your North Park University Vikings. Number 2, Kelsey Deal. Number 3, Annika Nyquist. Number 7, Viviana Preciado. Number 9, Britt Hensel. Number 12, Sarah Brawley. Number 14, Emily Seiler. Number 15, Emma Lundeen. Number 16, Anna Lamantia. Number 22, Haley Rogers. Keeper number 1, Megan Durkee. And number 24, Elizabeth Heidenstrom. The Vikings are coached by Chris Wright. His assistants are Heather Bickerton and E.J. Sisselman.
Lamantia now gets it right to the feet of Annika Nyquist. Nyquist does catch up to it. Tries to center it up to Lundeen, but it puts it in! Goal for North Park! Emma Lundeen puts it in for the Vikings with 32:03 remaining here in the first half. North Park has taken a 1-0 lead on the goal from Emma Lundeen off the pass from Annika Nyquist. Goal for North Park. Lundeen's got a wide open goal. She's going to put it in. Goal for North Park. Emma Lundeen puts in her second goal of the game off the assist from Kelsey Deal, and the Vikings take a 2-0 lead here at the Holmgren Athletic Complex. Goal for North Park.
And yeah, that was just like an absolutely exciting game for the Vikings. Despite the outcome, they did a nice job of taking a 2-0 lead in that game, but Elmhurst unfortunately ended up scoring 6 goals straight in that game to earn the victory over North Park. Looking at the game that the Vikings had on on Saturday night, the 6-1 decision to Wheaton College, Lundeen was the lone goal scorer for the Vikings in that matchup, as well as she scored goal number 17 in the season in the 59th minute, as she became the all-time single-season leading goal scorer with that mark of 17 goals, and she finished up with 29 career goals in her 4-year career. So she just was unfortunately one shy from scoring the game tying and the single career goals scored mark. So, as I said, North Park finishes up the season and 6-11 overall and a 1-5 mark. And we just wish them all the best of luck, those seniors that will be graduating on, and hope that the ladies can bounce back next season coming up for the women's soccer team. So, moving on to some other sports on campus, let's go ahead and show you that interview that Coach Conway and I had earlier today regarding the Vikings' 26-20 loss to Augustana for the North Park football team. Head football coach Mike Conway of the North Park Vikings. North Park unfortunately coming off a 26-20 loss to Augustana this past Saturday. Mike, now that you've had an opportunity on Sunday to take a look at the film, and just what are your thoughts on the game from Saturday?
Well, my thoughts are we let one get away. I mean, it missed opportunities for us. We had a chance to win the game a couple times, and we just didn't get it done. And it's frustrating for our kids, for sure. Frustrating for me. It's my responsibility. We need to dig. We had first and goal from the 2, and at the end of there, we didn't get points out of it, and we gave up a big play late, so they took the lead 26-20, and TD threw a really great pass down there to Devin, and he got out of bounds at the 2, and we think, hey, let's punch it in here. Let's punch it in and kick the point, and the let's get out of here with another victory for the second time in 42 years.
Yeah.
But it wasn't to be. I mean, they did a good job. They hung in there and they stopped us on the 2-yard line and couldn't get it done. And you know, very frustrating. You know, we had chances earlier in the game too to get points. We missed a couple PATs. We missed a field goal again. Some of the same problems that we've been having, and you know, it's just a little frustrating at times at this point, because I think we had a very good opportunity to win the game. Guys played really hard. I had no problem with the way our kids played, and they played their tails off as they have been doing. We played better defensively than we've been playing better the last 3 weeks defensively. We just gave up. You know, we give up 2 or 3 big plays a game, and that usually costs us. And you know, we're not converting down there when we have a chance to. You know, when we have a chance to get points right now, we're going to have to get that done. Thought we had that kind of taken care of, but I guess I didn't. So we got to get. We're going back to work real hard here. We got another good opponent we're going to face, and you know, we just got to keep working. And the kids, they're doing awesome. They're doing awesome, doing everything we asked them to do. But just a couple mistakes, you know, in the red zone, a couple mistakes here and there, and defensively and offensively, and certainly in the kicking game. And you know, we're not at that point in our program where we can make mistakes that cost us points or develop points for your opponents. Just we're not in that position yet, and so that's just the way it goes. A little bit frustrating, but we got another. You know, we got the next week is happening right now, so we're heavy in preparation.
Yeah, that was going to be the next question. Now you guys got Carthage coming up this weekend. Team you beat on homecoming last year by 22-20 score, breaking that conference losing streak. Talk a bit about, you know, what the game plan is now going to be going into the Carthage game.
Well, first of all, I'll tell you the Carthage is a lot better football team than we were last year. They've done a great job of rebounding from last season, and you know, they were disappointed in last season, I'm sure. And I've talked to Coach Yeager about it, and he's done a really good job coaching this year for his kids. He got a great group of kids in there, a good young group of kids. He's got some tailbacks. They got a quarterback that's playing tremendous. In fact, I think he's second in the league in passing behind TD right now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They got 3 really good tailbacks. They got a system. You know, they run the ball and they run play action and they throw the ball deep. They got a good identity right now offensively, and it'll be a big task for us. So they're not. You know, I think last year they were kind of just. You know, trying to find their identity, but boy, they really found it, and I'm really impressed with them offensively. And I think defensively, they're one of the top pass defensive teams in the conference. So there you go. I mean, and they'll be gunning for us. I know that they've circled us for a year. So you know, us winning that game and breaking the streak and all. So it'll be a big task for us, but our kids are up for it and they're ready for it and they're excited about it. And that's what we're gonna go play as hard as we can, and hopefully we'll eliminate some of the mistakes and convert points when we need to.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks so much, Mike, for taking the time today, and we wish you guys all the best of luck against Carthage this weekend.
Thanks, Kev. I was going to ask which one of our heads were shining the most, and you win.
Okay. All right. Thanks again, Mike, for taking the time.
Thanks, buddy.
And I said yes. Mike just being a little bit comical there at the end. So, the Vikings now have Carthage coming up on Saturday this weekend, as they will be playing at home at 1 o'clock. That will be senior day for the Vikings. We'll be bringing you that game as well, live audio, video, as well as live stats for that matchup. Looking at some of the stats from that game, though, however, the Vikings had 355 yards of total offense. TD Conway was 26 of 38 with 3 touchdowns for 284 yards. And Devin Childress was the leading receiver with 9 catches for 137 yards. And Brendan Dull defensively had 9 tackles to lead the Vikings defense. And 3 fumbles were actually forced for the Vikings, as Joe Butts, Ryan Boswell, and Sean Maviallo all had a fumble to their credit in that game. So North Park looking to bounce back and earn a victory, hopefully a second straight victory over Carthage this weekend, as they had defeated Carthage last year to end their conference losing streak with a 22-20 victory at homecoming. So looking at some of the other sports on campus, moving over to men's and women's cross country, the cross country teams had an absolutely phenomenal performance out at the CCIW championships this past Saturday out in Decatur. Miranda Gomez ended up leading the Vikings women's team with taking 16th place overall, and she earned second team, or she earned all-conference honors for the Vikings, becoming the first runner to do so since Hannah Landecker earned all-conference honors in the 2006 season. Miranda Gomez, as just said, she finished the 16th overall. She had a time of 23:21. And looking at the times for all the other men's and women's team, men and women that competed in that competition, 15 of the 19 athletes had lifetime best personal records. So right there, that tells you that it was just an unbelievable performance for the Vikings, given the track record that they have had. And the men's team ended up finishing 7th overall out of at the conference matchup. And Saul Lopez led the men's team with a 36th place finish, as he had a time of 26:26 even to finish out his race. Looking at one other sport on campus, moving along to the women's volleyball team, the Vikings ended up finishing the season with a 9-24 overall record and 0-7 mark in the conference. They went to the Illinois Wesleyan Chevrolet Barker Classic this past weekend out at Bloomington, and ended up winning one match. They had a 1-3 record out at the Barker Classic. They defeated McMurray College on the first day by a 3-2 set margin, and Haley Brake was the lone one that had all tournament team honors for the Vikings in that one. So once again, we wanted to thank head coach Mike Conway for joining us earlier today, as well as you joining us today. And as I said, once again, my name is Kevin Shepke, and this is NPU Weekly, and we hope that you have enjoyed this edition of NPU Weekly, as we will be with you later on this week. So we hope that you join us once again on the NPU Live channel, as the men's soccer team will be taking to the field against Elmhurst College on Wednesday night for the first round of the CCIW tournament. That will be at 7 p.m. that evening, and we'll be bringing you all the live action of that on the NPU Live channel, as well as on Saturday afternoon when the North Park football team returns home to take on Carthage at 1 p.m., and we will have all that action for you live on our NPU Live channel, live stats as live audio and live video, and hopefully we will be bringing you a special edition of NPU Weekly, as well as the men's soccer, hopefully their conference championship game on Saturday night, as Vikings will hopefully head out to Wheaton, given that they have a victory over Elmhurst College on Wednesday night. So that matchup will be on the live channel Saturday night at 7 p.m. So once again, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We hope you enjoyed the webcast, and go Vikings!